Hey guys, before we get started, follow us on social media, Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter. Please, we need followers. We need validation. Tell us how much you love us. Watch us on YouTube. Leave comments about what idiots we are. We love it. Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter at LaunchpadPod, and our website, launchpadpod.com, and on YouTube, looking silly as ever. Today we're talking about a great movie Rumi recommended, Crocodile.
There's a huge difference between alligators and crocodiles.
Well, this doesn't have anything to do with a lizard, Ruby.
It's a one-eye lizard?
Yeah. Well, let's get into it on this week's Launchpad Podcast.
Ignition sequence start. 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0. All engine running. Liftoff. We have a liftoff.
All right, welcome to Launchpad Podcast. I'm Aaron.
I'm Matt.
Matt, I was watching a movie last night, and you were like, "Hey, are we recording?" I was like, "Yeah, we should." I'm watching Alligator right now, and you're like, "This old movie from the '80s?" I was like, "Yeah," and you're like, "I'm doing it too. Let's do it." And so we're going to talk about Alligator today. What do you think? Yeah, go ahead.
I'll tell you what I got to think. I have to thank you because this has been a movie on my curious to see list literally since I was like 5 years old.
Yeah.
A couple of years ago, we did an episode that was about VHS cover art that we would see often. Stuff that we liked, stuff that we were scared of, is I think what the episode primarily focused on. If you guys haven't checked that episode out, go listen to it because it is a trip back in time. It takes you not to the video store Aaron and I always talk about owning together, but our actual video stores that we went to as kids and the different, box art that we would see that would scare the shit of us. This was one of them for me. Do you remember the box art for this?
Oh my God, yeah. It's like a sewer culvert, and and the sewer culvert takes up a big portion of the box.
Like an
and
arch,
then,
like a
like
sewer
an arch,
arch.
yeah,
Right? Yeah.
sewer arch, and then it's like dark, and then like the fucking smiley, creepy, evil looking face of a alligator is peeking out of that, and it's like creepy,
And it doesn't look like an actual alligator. It looks more like an alligator monster. Like it doesn't look anatomically correct. It looks like a sci-fi horror movie alligator, right?
And I have to say, I did not know what this movie was going to be. I mean, obviously, there's an alligator. Obviously, there's an alligator. Obviously, people die. But I had always seen pictures of this alligator, just like blood dripping out of its mouth from stills from the movie. So I was like, maybe it's time to check this out. And Kate was like, I want something stupid from the 80s. I was like, oh, I have an entire streaming service for that. We watched it, and it started off. It immediately was like, oh wow, you're hitting me right in the face. It starts off at like
50 seconds in. It starts.
So this guy, they're like at some sort of like shitty Missouri like alligator farm, and these dudes are like, careful folks, this guy's a real gator. And it's like some guy in a gator pit who gets bit immediately on his leg.
It's less than a minute into the film. And an alligator attack happens. And I was like, awesome.
Tearing this guy apart, ripping his leg up. And there's a little girl in the audience who's like, if they flip him over and rub his belly, he'll fall asleep. They're cold-blooded, actually. They're just looking for warmth. And like, she's just spitting off alligator facts, like some sort of like, I don't know, that annoying kid from the Magic School Bus who always had the facts. What was his name? The little redhead fucker? Not Miss I think his name was Arthur, but I can't remember. Anyway, she's spitting off all these alligator facts, and they're like, cool, shut up. and then they're like, buy a baby alligator, which after just seeing a horrible alligator mauling, if you were a parent where you're like, yes, take that alligator and go home, go for it, kid.
Yeah. This thing will grow into the thing that you just watched another man be mauled by.
Yeah.
I also like, it's so weird because she's like offering these suggestions to nobody and no one's listening, but it's almost like if you like, there was a crowd of people watching a building burn down and one little kid in that crowd was like, the firemen should shoot the water at the base of the fire because in that way it doesn't spread. And if it's a grease fire, they need to use chemical extinguishers. Like, what? What a weird thing. I mean, it sets up a premise for later, but a thin premise.
She's like, I haven't even gotten started talking about backdrafts. Come on. A cloaca is their ass.
Stimulate his cloaca. Probably.
So ridiculous. But
I can tell you right now, I was in. I was very excited to watch this movie because I've always wanted to see it. But it's on all the streaming services that I have. It's not free. So I was like, all right, I'll get to it eventually. But when last night you said that you were watching it, I was like, okay, I'll rent it. That's worth throwing down a couple dollars. And cut to the chase, I'm so happy I did. I'll be buying a Blu-ray within the next week.
Oh, really?
Fuck yes.
So
well, I mean, let's go into it. So she buys a little gator.
She buys a little gator.
Girl.
She names him Ramo'ne.
Right, which is like, okay. First of all, why would a little girl name an alligator that? But like, whatevs.
One of my favorite things about this, right off the bat, starting off strong, is that they drive away from this thing. And it's like you're leaving Missouri. In the background, there's like palm tree farms. It's like obviously like northern coast. This is like mid Northern Valley, California. Like obviously, okay, great. You're out by the this is out by where Kobe died. This is obviously not Missouri. And then they head back to what they're calling Chicago, I guess. But like every time they're like, here we are in freezing Chicago, there's like somebody in the background, like a tank top on roller skates, just like cruising down Venice Boulevard. You're like, this is obviously California and Los Angeles, every shot you're in. So the very next scene, the little girl's like, I have to go to school, Ramo'ne. You be here and be a good gator. And she leaves, and I get the gist of the scene because you see it happen, but her father, have we met this character? I don't know.
I was going to say we have not heard. I mean, he was at the other stuff, I think, but he hasn't said any lines. We don't know anything about him.
We've had no introduction to him or his hate for baby alligators. But he kicks in a door. He's like, where's that goddamn gator? Flush him down the toilet. He's like screaming, foaming at the mouth. And his wife's like, no, don't. And he like,
no. What are we going to tell the little girl?
Tell her he died.
Tell her he died. But like, it clearly you're like, what scene did I just miss?
Like, I feel like I've missed a half-hour movie where like this guy suddenly has this grudge against this alligator for whatever reason, but for literally out of nowhere, this unintelligible screaming man picks up the baby gator and flushes it down the toilet. And we get into the movie. And the very next scene, we're in a pet store, and the lead character comes into the pet store and he's like, I want to buy a puppy. And you're like, cool, we're going to see this puppy again in the movie. And they're like, once, but that's about it. And you're like, oh, okay. Thanks for buying the puppy. But the creepy,
I guess it's just a setup for the pet shop guy.
This whole movie is full of things that you're like, why does this scene exist? And they're like, oh, it'll come back into play later. But it doesn't. It's literally you created a scene because you didn't know how to get back to it later. Multiple times. Literally, that's how we got a gator in the sewer. Why did we have this scene at the beginning? To get a gator in the sewer. What? She could have just showed up with the gator. Anyway, so he buys the pet, and the creepy pet store guy's like, okay. And then he's being a creep, and you realize
he was the stuttering guy from One Flew Over the Cuckoo's Nest.
Yes, exactly. And you find he's a total creep because he's stealing puppies and selling them as lab experiments. And so for whatever reason, he is also roped into disposing of these puppies once the lab has experimented on them. Which, above my pay grade, assholes, have fun with that. Also, the lab guys are like, we need fucking puppies to do evil experiments on. You're like, okay, I get it. These guys suck. Later, they're like, why aren't the dogs barking? They're like, because we cut their throats out because we're assholes. And you're like, wow, I hope a gator like runs through your wedding and ruins everything. And they're like, don't worry, just you wait. And then they tell the cops at one point, they're like, no, it's totally cool. We get it from the Humane Society. And then we have the Humane Society dispose of them, cremate them. Why didn't they
It's all
just
very regulated?
Yeah, why didn't they just send any of the bodies back and have them cremated? It's not like I don't feel like a crematorium for dead animals is going to be like, wait a second, I gave you 6 puppies to experiment on, and you gave me 10 back?
No, I think he said it was very regulated. So I'm thinking they're like, wait a minute, we gave you 6 and you're giving us 12?
Also, you picked the wrong animal. If you had just picked cats, there's like 10,000 million bajillion cats crawling over LA at any one time. Like, I don't know how many times people are like, oh,
LA, Chicago.
Yeah, like LA, Chicago. When you're, I guess that's true. Chicago might be different, but in the reality of the place where they are, where they were pretending to be, that might not be true. But in LA, like when we'd have guests, they'd be like, kitty. I'm like, yeah, they're fucking everywhere. I'm over it at this point. Like everything smells like cat piss because there's millions of cats.
Also, if you're this bad experiment company, you could have just gone back to the crematorium place and be like, here's the dogs I need you to burn up. And they'd be like, wait, there's too many here. You'd be like, I know, we're doing a multiplicity experiment. And they'd be like, oh, okay. I mean, I guess that checks out.
Yeah, you just look at them and go, science. And they're like, oh,
yeah, what do you want from me, man?
Bill Nye, the science guy.
They're working too well. Burn them up. Let's go. I got dogs to clone.
So once again, we cut back to Pet Store Guy, who now has a shopping cart full of dead animals, which, again, you own a pet store. Just take them back to the crematorium, who I'm sure you also have a deal with, where you're like, hey, here's some animals that died under my care because I'm a shitty pet store. Like,
I mean, where is he going with these? Because I feel like there's got to be a better way to dispose of
he's
dead
hiking them down into the sewer and dumping them deep in the deep in the sewer. Like he's like came down. He's like, hi chuds, and they're like, and like,
yeah, past the chuds.
Yeah, past the sewer people who live there, past the mole people, past the chuds, and then
Ninja Turtles are like, bro, keep going.
They're like, nah, dude, this is our house. And he's like, okay. So finally he gets to the deepest, darkest sewer and dumps these dogs in, which were literally like stuffed animals that just like thud, like cracking me the fuck up every time he, like, at first I was like, I'm gonna be sad when I see these bodies. And it's like, oh no, we literally went and bought like the largest stuffed animal we could.
Bodies provided by F.A.O. Schwartz. And
he promptly gets killed by an alligator.
A giant alligator.
Giant alligator.
And you do a good job. You don't really see much. It's a lot of shaky cam and close-ups, but like, okay, first death. Yeah. And that happens. And then it like they're looking around. Then there's 2 severed body parts. They find his severed body part and they find a worker's severed body part, right? Because I think a worker gets killed even before that.
Yeah. Because they're like, we found this guy's arm and we found this guy's boot and we found this guy's shirt and we found a Shih Tzu. And it's like, they're finding all the shit in the pump rooms. Like, I don't know. It's some large water.
Yeah, sewer catcher place.
Water treatment
facility. The dog they found is twice as big. The adult dog is twice as big as when the woman whose dog it was lost it, they say. Which is a point that I guess comes into later and explains why the alligator is giant. But like by that point, I didn't care. And it was like a long, roundabout, subtle way to explain something that nobody was really questioning.
Again, the movie goes out of its way to explain shit it doesn't need to explain. I don't care why it's a giant alligator. The fact that there's alligators in the sewer, it can be as big as it wants to be, for God's sake.
Right. I'm on board with it. Okay.
But the movie's trying to tell us, like, because these experimented dogs are getting really big, and then the alligator eats the carcasses of really big experimented dogs, he's getting really big. And you're like, oh, got it. But they want to explain it like 10 times and really make sure you get it.
I eat big chocolate chip cookies and I get big. So I fucking understand the concept, dude. I got it. Also, not a lot of scholars are watching Alligator. Between 1980 and today, there's not a lot of like actual genetic research people watching that movie and being like, wait a minute. Wait 1 second.
They don't have Neil deGrasse Tyson to make you look like a fool on a national stage.
Here's the second reason why I love this movie, pacing and the choices that are being made as a production. 17 minutes in, we've now teasingly seen 2 people get eaten. And like the characters now know that two people have been destroyed in the sewers, and they think it's an alligator. We now have a montage. 17 minutes in, we have a montage of newspaper headlines about alligators eating and attacking people in the sewers. And I'm like, we've only seen two people get eaten, and you're already spinning newspapers at me about it. Like, it's like, okay, we're less than 20 minutes in, and you're already glossing over how many attacks there are, which I normally would have thought would have aggravated me, but I thought it was so funny that they're just like, you get the gist, right? It's almost like the movie started, and they're like, all right, it's been 45 seconds. I'm going to let you watch this guy get eaten just so you know what you're watching. And it's like 17 minutes in, the movie's like, all right, you get it, right? Alligators are killing people. You're like, you get it? There's a giant alligator. You get it? I was like, yeah, okay, keep going. Don't let me slow you down. Keep going.
So then, I love. So the cop goes to the lab, and he's like, hey, you guys aren't experimenting on dogs, right? Like, how would those dogs get in the sewer, right? You guys weren't working with a creepy pet store owner, right? And they're like, no. And he's like, okay. And he walks away. It's like, dude, you solved the crime. You literally had all the pieces. You were at their doorstep, and then was like, hey, you're not.
It was a young
scientist,
white
right?
male scientist was like, no, we give him back to the crematorium.
Yeah. It totally gives him the line. He's like, okay, and walks away. And then that guy, the lab guy, calls his soon-to-be father-in-law, and is like, they're breathing down my neck. He's like, don't worry about it. The mayor's in my pocket.
And
they're
the
like,
father-in-law is the exact same character as the Six Flags commercial guy, right?
I was going to say it's like a living Mr. Burns, like literally in my mind. Like I was like, oh, Mr. Burns is here. Great. Like he is that character. He's like, yes, kill the puppies. We must kill all the puppies.
He's like, did you pinch the puppies before you threw them in the sewer?
Yes.
Like we need to torture them a lot.
How did their tears taste? And he's like, hey, along the way, we solved like some growth hormone shit. And he's like, I don't care. I'm just in it to destroy the puppies. Blah, blah, blah. And like, that's his character. And you're like, got it. So then the cop goes to his station. He's like, I got to go down in the sewer and find this alligator. And they're like, we don't want to go help you do that. And like all the cops are like cartoon fucking cops. Like even his boss is like, God damn it, I got the mayor's boot up my ass and you want to go down in the sewer and hunt gators. And you're like, why are you yelling? Why are you yelling? But every scene he's in, he's just like yelling and sweating.
Yeah,
so
he's
like,
already like fed up with everything because of all the spinning newspapers, I think.
Take the new guy. And the new guy's like, yeah, I'll go down with you, but I don't got any boots. This kid always has a giant chunk of chewing tobacco in his mouth, and it's just like,
which isn't really established, necessary, or like it doesn't do anything.
I thought he was deformed at first.
Yes. All it does is distract you because one whole side of his face looks bigger.
Yeah, he looks deformed. It's goddamn ridiculous.
And it would be one thing if like he leaned over later and spit into the water, and in
never
doing
spits.
that aggravated that he spits the whole time in the sewer, but like it's not a gimmick. Just a character trait for no reason that looks visually confusing.
So now you're like, great, get down to the sewer. But wait, movie's got to throw a curveball at you. This dude walks in and is like, I'm going to blow this place up. And he's got a bomb strapped to his chest. And I'm like, what does this have to do with alligators?
Yeah.
But don't worry, alligators got you covered. It's playing like 4D chess right now, dude. It is like, hey, I'm going to tie it all together, man. Don't worry.
Don't worry.
I was actually impressed with the lack of faith I had and how much like foresight and planning Alligator had for this.
I agree. Because I had the same thought. This guy walks like those two guys are literally, the main character and this new cop are literally about to go down into the sewer. And we should say the main character is played by Robert Forrester, who is the guy who helps Walter White disappear, right?
Yeah.
Breaking Bad. And he's been in a ton of other shit too. He's a
Do you want to know something else about Walter White? Bryan Cranston?
Yeah, say that.
He was a fucking PA on this movie.
Bryan Cranston was a special effects PA on this movie to the point where he actually has a special feature on the Blu-ray, which was a selling point for me. How crazy is that, right? Fucking Walter White. And he knows, they've been in scenes together. But he's in this movie. He does an amazing job as this weird character, but he's a good actor. But him and the new kid, the new cop, they're like literally walking out the door, and this weird guy walks in and is like, I killed people in the sewers. So everyone looks at him and he's like, and I'm also going to finish by killing everyone here. And they all look at him, and he unbuttons his shirt a little bit and pulls out this giant fucking timer that looks like something that like the ball would come down in New York City. It was
Flava Flav was jealous about the timepiece around his neck.
It was giant, and it has a bunch of circuits and shit hanging out. And there's also a wire taped to his chest that goes up to his ear. And they're like, why do you want to do that, son? And he's like, the voices are telling me. And then Robert Forster and the newer cop like jump him. And then they go through this weird thing of disarming this bomb. And Robert Forster's like, you gotta grab it. There's got to be a button somewhere. It's probably on the side. And they're like looking for this button that you don't know what it is. They're having trouble finding it. You have no idea why there would have to be a button. And then they like try to pull the wire out of his ear as if that's like important in disarming the bomb. They disarm the bomb and they're like, book him. And you're like, that was a good little weird thing of
no. But here's the thing.
Tension.
He goes, it's not a bomb. It's a radio. And they're like, oh.
Yeah. And you're like, what? There was definitely a timer ticking down. It got to like 5 seconds before they disarmed it. But you're like,
yeah.
What? Okay. All right, alligator, carry on. Time in.
So they go down in the sewers, and I have one of my favorite jump scares I've ever seen. They're down in the sewer looking, and we keep cutting to the alligator being like, it's like the music for this is like, not Jaws, not Jaws, not Jaws, not Jaws, not. So you keep hearing the tone, and you keep seeing the alligator like popping up, and like he's following them. And David Forster, Robert Forster, the character's name is David Madison. He's like, he's like, Kelly, and Kelly's disappeared. And he's like, you're like, Gator got him, cool. And he's looking around.
Like, he like turns around and you hear a big splash. Yeah. And he turns around and the young guy, Kelly, is gone.
So he calls Kelly's name for like 3 minutes. And he's in this tunnel looking with his flashlight, and we get this like gator cam, this POV like coming up behind him. Dun, 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 not Jaws, not Jaws, not Jaws. And then this hand comes up and gooses him, fucking grabs his ass, and he just stands up and bumps his head on the sewer tunnel, and it's
like,
Kelly.
I fucking shot you.
Yeah, and Kelly's like, ha, 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 ha. It's like, always a little time for grab ass in the sewer. Come on.
That guy was having a good day at work, though. You know what I mean? Like that entire thing. He's like, he had to go down into the sewers with a cop who no one in the force really trusts because he has this checkered past where his partner gets killed or something. And he's everyone's blaming him. But this guy's like, fuck it. We're going to go down to the sewer. We're going to have a good time. Like you said, we'll do a little grab ass if the mood catches us. And if we find a giant alligator, great. If not, as long as I'm home by dinner is what he kept saying. I just want to be home by 7. I got to get home for dinner.
I feel like this is where the Divergent film starts, where like he grabs his ass and then suddenly they're like, well, we're down here alone. And like, it's a completely different movie from here on out. It's like Brokeback Mountain, but with cops, and the alligators are like a side subplot. That would have been.
I never saw that movie, but the alligator could be the Anne Hathaway character.
So then, they're like, well, nothing down here. And they start climbing up this ladder. And then the gator just goes like, grabs Kelly, yanks him down, drags him off in a pool of blood spray.
They're chasing him, aren't they? Like shoot him at him, and the alligator's chasing him like around corners and stuff. And they start climbing up this ladder.
It's a good beat.
He can't get the hatch open, right?
Yeah, it's a good beat, and it's kind of freaky. And then, oh no, you now have another dead partner.
And now you also, when we first get into the sewer, there is a reveal behind them of a quick shot of the alligator's mouth, so fast and so dimly lit, you really can't see what part of the alligator it was. But at that point, I was real excited because all I wanted this to be was a creature feature. I just wanted to see a giant alligator. I didn't even care what it looked like. And I saw that and I was like, okay, they built something. We're going to see an alligator. And you do see plenty of it. And I think it looks fantastic, but I love all the alligator stuff in here. But when this guy gets pulled down from underneath Madison, the shot is like a kind of over his shoulder down this ladder tube and you see the alligator chomping on this guy's leg and pull him away. And it's like, it's well done. It's an effective shot and it works, but you get to see a giant alligator is my point. And at that point, what are we, like 25 minutes into the movie? I've already seen everything that I wanted to see. Anything else is just gravy for me.
They could have rolled credits. You would have been like, fine.
I would have been okay. That was worth my $2.99 rental.
They made a big deal about methane in the sewer. Like, don't fire your guns. There's methane down here. You got to put on gas masks. Like, got to be careful around the methane. Like, got it.
Okay.
I hope that comes into play later.
Got it. I heard you, alligator. I heard you.
Really just setting it up for later. You're like, well, but the misdirection, the red herring of that guy with the bomb, you're like, I don't know if this movie knows what it's doing. I don't know if any of this is going to come into play later. So they have this like weird, like a press conference where they're like, hey, your partner just died. Let's grill you with questions. So they bring him out. They bring out the cop. They're grilling him with questions. There's the newspaper guy, and he's like, weren't you the other cop partner who got his partner killed? And he's like, no. Why'd you bring that up? And this like asshole newspaper guy becomes a character now, and he keeps showing up at inopportune moments to be like, I'm just trying to get the scoop on you, crazy cop. And he's the next to die, it's a good scene. I like it because he's down there taking pictures. And he finds a dead dog. He's like, fuck, taking pictures. Alligator gets him. He takes pictures of the alligator eating him. Like his own hand is like in the throat of the alligator, and he's somehow taking pictures with the other hand. And that's how they know that there's a gator in there. But while this murder's happening, our lead cop is going to find the foremost alligator expert in Marissa Kendall, who it turns out is the little girl from the beginning of the movie.
For no reason, because she never sees the alligator.
She never
encounters the alligator.
She never finds out that it's Ramo'ne.
She has nothing to do with, I mean, she has to do with the plan, but she doesn't actually implement anything that ends up killing the alligator.
No.
She saves the guy at the end, but she doesn't do anything with the alligator. So her and the alligator's paths never cross, even though it is specifically her alligator. She is the little girl whose dad went crazy that one day and flushed that alligator. And that alligator is the one that's now eating people.
Yeah. Why?
Which is like, I don't give a shit. Fine. Great.
But like, of all the plot devices, you're like, okay, there's going to be a big showdown between her and Ramo'ne when she realizes, you were my friend alligator. I didn't come home from school. I'm so sorry. But like, nope, none of that. None of it happens.
There's a prequel, right? And in the prequel, and a lot of people don't like it, in the prequel, it is Ramone's DNA that leads to a cloning of all the bounty hunter that then turns into all the different stormtroopers. So it's really Ramone's DNA in every stormtrooper. They're clones.
Fucking Boba Fett.
It's that level of like, why did you have to do that? Like, why? Like, it changes nothing in the movie. It doesn't make it any more enjoyable. It's not like a wink at the audience that we know and she doesn't. It's just like, and she's just this character. And for the first two scenes, I was like, why are they making her a character instead of just the expert they're consulting? And they're like, oh, because you're Ramone's mom? Okay.
But also, they never really establish it, but they linger on her so much. And then she tells the story like, right. I had a pet alligator once, but my dad said it died, and I never got closure from that. And you're like, oh, are you going to find, is this where they find? Never do they, there's no reconciliation for Marissa and Ramo'ne.
Although I guess now, what would you want? Like the American Werewolf scene where at the end, her and the alligator have a face off and she's like, Ramo'ne. And then you see like his facial expression soften.
And then they kill it. Yeah.
Her. Yeah.
100%. That's exactly what I wanted. Like she picks him because of the pattern on his back. I don't know. Like anything that would have brought that full circle. Like if you're going to make it a thing, you got to bring it full circle, right?
Yeah. He breaks a tooth or something noticeable that she knows that's him.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. And it's like any movie, like that's a trope. It comes full circle. And you're like, you're going to come full circle, right? Alligator. And alligator's like, what? Huh? It's like, looks up with like blood just dripping from its mouth. Like, huh? I'm supposed to do what now? Huh? It's like no clue what's going on. You're like, okay, fine.
I got to say though, and I think this is the subtext of the text you sent me about this movie when you said, it's terrible, but I'm laughing. I think I like the movie more because it sets up her connection to the alligator and then doesn't pay it off in any way. It just makes it like, Why would you do that? But like, to me, that's a reason to buy the movie because it's
100%.
fucking bonkers for no reason.
I love a movie that has all the pieces but just couldn't land a basket.
Yeah.
It's just like
It's like a half-finished Lego set. It's like, it looks mostly like an X-Wing.
I love how you keep going back to Star Wars for no reason. Except this is the one where it's like, I got like half of a Jar Jar Binks here. Good enough. So now that they have proof that there's actual alligators and it's not just this cop being crazy, his boss is like, you got to get down there and kill that goddamn gator. I got the mare's foot halfway up my ass. I'm tasting shoe leather right now. Blah, blah, blah. And so he and Marissa go hunting for this gator with a bunch of SWAT team dudes. And they're like pounding through the sewers trying to get it. They're like, past the chuds, past the sewers.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. And what is their super, super effective elite way to flush the gator out? What are they doing to let the gator know that they're coming?
Tried and true, brother. They went and all saw Stomp because we all did. They love them some musicals. And so they all have trash can lids and they're doing like scoopity slide, smash, smash, smash. They're making the beat come alive with trash, brooms and trash cans. It's basically Stomp in the sewer. It's pretty advanced for Broadway. This is the off Broadway.
And these guys
Stomp,
like,
but then they start getting alligators.
Half of them are hitting pots and pans and garbage can, like old school 80s garbage cans. And the other guys have shotguns and M16s. And I would love to have been like, there's no scene of this, but I would love to see the scene where they were like, all right, you guys grab your guns, lock and load. You guys go grab some metalware and shit. You're the drummer boys. You're like, wait, we know there's a giant alligator down there, right? I am not bringing cookery down. Like,
and like, it's funny because all of them are just like, boom, boom, boom. And it's like, there's one guy down there trying to be like, boom, boom,
yeah,
like trying to put a little
would that
like.
Not be you? That would be us, right? For sure. Like, I know that and we would have to be put in different units in different tunnels because for sure we would be like, Roomy. What is this? What is this? And then we would like start playing. We'd have to guess each other's songs.
And they're like, stop trying to put a salsa beat into this. Just fucking hunt this alligator. So they find nothing. And this is really my only gripe with the movie is that this moment took too long and didn't have a payoff.
Yeah.
But just when I'm like, movie, you didn't have a payoff to that scene. It was like, what? And an alligator
like woke up,
bursts out of the street into the middle of a stickball game, like they do in Chicago.
I agree with you totally. I was waiting. They're like all these guys, there's cops at the end of a tunnel and the plan was to flush the alligator out into these cops and they all have guns. They were going to shoot it. Right. And you're looking at the mouth of this tunnel. And then finally you see flashlights in here. Hold your fire. We're the police.
But they did a cool thing where it was the guy banging on the trash can. Bang, bang, bang. And then it goes silent. And you're like, oh. And they're like, hold your fire. And you're like, oh, no gator. Like, come on.
And then like all these guys are walking out of tunnel and everyone's laughing. And I was like, if an alligator just rips through this SWAT team right now, I am going to be so excited. But everyone just kind of goes home. And you're like, oh, that sucks. And one of the cops drives through a stickball game. And out of nowhere, you see this alligator under the sewer come up. And then you see the manhole cover bulge. And I was like, no. And it bulges again. And then it breaks. The whole street and sewer breaks. And it's a miniature. And I got to tell you, there is some really good miniature work in this to the point where there were multiple points where I was like, is that a guy in a suit or is that an actual alligator in a miniature?
Actual alligator.
Fucking awesome.
It's great. They did a great job with these moments. And so now he's terrassing through the street, chomping at kids, tearing shit up.
Eating guys, smashing a car.
Smashes a car, eats a cop's legs off. And one of the stickball kids, he's like, I'm going to stab this gator in the head with a toothpick. So he runs upstairs and his mom's on the phone. He's like, Mom, there's Gator. And this mom's like, shut up. I'm on the phone here. And she's like, she must be the dad's cousin. He must be Marissa's dad's cousin because she's just screaming at this kid. She's like, he's driving me crazy.
He's driving me crazy. And he's like, but Mom, there's an alligator down there. And she goes, I said later. And I was like, wait, she distinctly says, I said later. And I'm like, have you had this argument before? And like, what does she think is going to happen later? I mean, I'm guessing she meant we'll talk about it later. Ugh. But this kid's like, fuck that. I don't have time to wait for you, Mom. So what does he do?
He grabs like a Michael Myers knife. He grabs a knife from Halloween that would make Michael Myers sweat. And he
runs past the mom, runs outside. And the mom responds by going, Daniel. And then she, again, into the phone goes, he's driving me crazy. And you're like, he just ran out of your house with a knife.
Also, this movie keeps jumping around. They're in, obviously, New York right now because all these people have New York accents. They're playing stickball in the street. There's still fucking palm trees in the background, which is so wild. We were in Missouri 1 second. They told me we were in Chicago, but I don't buy that at all. So this stickball kid, he goes out with the knife, doesn't do anything with it, and they cut to the cops talking to him, and they're like, I need you to tell her how big this thing was. And he's like, he goes, what did you say? You ever seen a Studebaker?
Yeah, you ever see El Diablo or something like that?
Yeah.
And he goes, yeah, the car? He goes, no, not the car, the refrigerator. Yeah, car, what do you think?
Yeah.
Hey, yo. And
hey. And they're like, oh my God, it's the size of a car. He's like, that's not including the tail. And so now they know they have
forget about the tail over here.
they got a 30-foot crocodile. We got a 30-foot alligator over here. And we see the alligator crawl into this pond. So then we cut to Echo Park in beautiful Los Angeles, sunny Los Angeles. Literally, I've been there. I've been to this park. It's Echo Park. And all the cops are like throwing dynamite in the water and driving around shooting machine guns with like boats with M60s on them ready to rock.
Yeah. And they're like, oh, they're trying to scare it up to the top. And I'm like, wait, how big is this lake that it's hiding a giant crocodile or alligator? And you guys are it's big enough you're dropping bombs in it.
Fucking like, 1998's Godzilla is like, good job. You got good hiding game. Learn from the best. And so then like this fucking Alan Quartermain motherfucker shows up and he's like, I'm here to fucking kill this gator. He might as well be wearing a pith helmet because that's like his character.
Well, his name, the actor's name is Henry Silva, and he's got a distinctly villainous face. He was in Dick Tracy. I think he played Pruneface in Dick Tracy. He was a bad guy in a Chuck Norris movie. You would for sure. I'm looking at his shit right now. I don't see anything right. He was a bad guy in Above the Law with Steven Seagal. I can't tell you a specific thing where you're like oh, he's that movie.
He played one of the Chinese bad guys in the original Manchurian Candidate. This guy's not Chinese.
But he does have a Dick Tracy-esque face. I promise you, if you look up Henry Silva, you will recognize his face.
Oh, shit.
He plays Quint.
Holy shit. He was Bane in Batman the Animated Series.
I believe it. His voice. I just showed that to Kent the other day.
Ooh. Yeah, he was in a bunch of stuff. Silence of the Lambs, he played police chief.
So you'll recognize his face right away, but he's just this striking guy, and he's introduced as like, I am the world's greatest Quint hunter, and I hunt all these shits, and I'm hunting.
Yeah, and I am alpha male. Yeah, and
they have this great scene where he's interviewed for the news.
Here, wait, let's recreate it. Do you want to be the blonde, or do you want to make the noises?
I mean, it's just such an awkward encounter that, again, you hope that this has a they even play it up that it hopes it has relevance to the rest of the thing. But she's like, so you know a lot about this shit, right? And you know a lot about alligators, and you think alligators are special creatures or something.
Yes, I love alligators. They're brilliant. They're hunters. They talk to each other. They make noises. Would you like to hear some of their noises?
And she's like, fuck yes, I would.
When an alligator is hunting, he goes like this.
No, that's not even where he starts. He goes, listen to this. And then he goes like, but like, it's played dead serious.
Yeah, dead
and then
serious.
He's like, they talk to each other. He said, that's an alligator mother searching for her young. And when an alligator, he even says when they're looking for love, they're great lovers. When they're looking for love, they say like this. And especially in that shot, it's his over his shoulder, and you see the back of his head. and you're watching this woman microphone just
and
you expect her to start laughing.
But I can't tell if they were like, but you're into it. But the actress couldn't be into it. Yeah. Like, I feel like the director was like,
she was just trying not to laugh.
His charm is working on you. And so like, she starts by being like, yeah, that's how I can't even do it.
Yeah. He looks like a fucking science experiment, and he's mimicking the sounds of an alligator. And then he's like, and then this is their hunting cry. And it's like, you expect her, like, it's one of those moments where, like, the way a film is set up, and this is obviously a fake sci-fi horror movie because it's about a giant alligator, but it takes place in the real world. This isn't Star Wars. It's not even a Marvel movie. This, like, the people in this movie are acting regular. Now you have this larger than life character who's not talking like other people. And he's like, if you are in an interview with a TV crew, the very first thing you do is make the love call of an alligator, straight faced. The movie almost needs to acknowledge that is silly, but it doesn't, which just makes it sillier because you're like, it's like when some weird fucking guy and this happens to me all the time. When some weird fucking guy talks to me and I look around to see if anybody else is seeing this, because you're like, does anybody else see this fucking ghoul-faced man pretending to be an alligator making noises at me on national television on my camera right now? While there's a giant alligator who's just killed a bunch of people, including stickball kids, in this lake right here. Is anybody watching this? But it doesn't happen that way. It just plays as straight. And you're like, what universe are we in here?
So our protagonist goes back to the scientist. And he's like, hey, I'm on to you. I figured it out. With Mariska Kendall. And they're like, oh, shit, he's got us. So they go to Mr. Burns and he's like, well, I know the mayor. And then in the very next scene, the protagonist goes back and he's like, we got him dead to rights. I put it all together. It's the scientists and they've been feeding them and they're doing this and they're doing that. And his boss is like, I got the mayor's bootlaces coming out of my mouth. I'm choking on bootlaces right now. You're off the force. I need your shield. You went
need
too
your badge,
deep. Yeah. You went too deep. And he's like, wasn't that my fucking job? Like, you're not even going to acknowledge that I've done this. And so
you pushed too far.
You pushed too far.
This is also one of those movies too. And I saw recently a comedian, I can't remember who it was, but they are making the joke about how every Law and Order, every CSU show, when they interview the guys at the docks, they are just putting those crates up, and it doesn't matter how gruesome the triple rape murder was. They don't have time to look at the cop. They got to be packing those boxes. Like, oh, so he chopped his head off and then raped the corpse's neck hole, huh? Well, and he's still there. This movie, everyone from the little kid playing stickball to the scientist, they're like, we're here about a giant alligator in the sewer. And he's like, literally, the scientist is looking in his microscope, being like, oh, well, yeah, our dogs are disposed of properly. And like, giant alligator in the sewer, whether that's true or not, you're not going to stop what you're doing and look at me.
Can I go back to your first example of the CSI moment? Is not only do the dock workers not want to start, but they always start by being hostile to cops. When cops are like,
yeah.
Hey, are you Mr. Blah, blah, blah? Like, who wants to know? It's like the fucking cops. Like, nobody talks to cops like this. And then when they're like, there's been this triple rape headless murder going on, then they're like, okay, let me tell you about how I finish up my work here. But like, nobody behaves this way. And even in this movie, yeah, the refrigerator, fuck you. It's like,
which is funny because if you watched a scene how most normal people would talk to cops, if you watched a scientist stop looking at a microphone and then turn up and look at Robert Forrester and have a conversation, it would be boring. It is visually more interesting to have him moving test tubes, and he was taking a little squirt bottle and squirting it on a slide. Like, yeah, that is visually more interesting, but it just adds to the underlying subtext of absurdity in this movie where you're like, who taught you how to people? It's like, so you're incriminating my company. Hang on. I need to be looking at this while I'm talking to you and not really listening.
So then we get to a scene where the cop and the alligator expert, Madison and Marissa,
I love this fucking movie. I'm so excited.
He's at her house. She's at his house, and she's like, "Your house sucks." And he's like, "Yeah, I should probably just get a bulldozer and clean it up." And then she's like, "Well, let's go to dinner." He's like, "If I go to dinner with you now, I'm gonna be worrying the whole time about whether you're gonna come back with here and sleep with me." And she's like, "You don't have to worry." They you know,
he was like, "Is that a guarantee?" And she's like, "Yeah."
Yeah. Camera pans away. Hey, you know what? He was direct. He asks for consent. Great, go for it. But
Wine and diner at Chick-fil-A.
Yeah. The funniest part about this is the very next scene, they go to dinner, and at dinner, he's a dick. And it's like, this is why you go to dinner first, to find out if they're a dick or not. He pisses her off so bad that she leaves him and throws money on the table. I was like, fuck you, you jerk. It's like, that's why you go to dinner first. That's why you don't immediately knock boots. But while the camera has panned away tastefully, we're back to Quint, and Quint has hired some street thugs or something. Matt, you froze.
You did too. I hit a mark when you froze.
I restarted.
So I hit stop and start, or just leave the mark?
You're fine. So while they were having this tasteful love scene, Quint is down in the streets hiring some thugs.
Yeah, $10 a day.
And it's like thugs that he didn't these tough guys who he didn't explain what the job entailed. Because the second he's like, let's go down this alley and get this alligators, they're like, no. And it's like, what did you get hired for? He didn't tell you I need some muscle. Like, what did he tell you? What was this job? How did this pitch go? But they're like, yeah, we'll walk with you.
I think he said, you know, the neighborhood.
Yeah.
And that's like, you're like, okay.
So they walk with him one block, and then like, no, I'm not. This is it. This is where we sign off. And he goes down this alleyway with his rifle and one dude, and you see the shadow of the alligator. And he's like, I'm going to get you. Comes around the corner. The alligator's gone. I'm like, that alligator's busting out of some impossible hiding spot. We heard no noise. No noise. You didn't hear an alligator like piling garbage on top of himself in a way he could hide. Nope. But of course, the alligator bursts out of the garbage and just eats this dude. And it's a good scene. It's a good moment. It's good.
Yeah, it is. And it's exactly the 1980 creature feature I wanted, right? Yeah. That scene right there. Giant rubber alligator, which would you say the alligator looked good? I think it did. I think they utilized it. It's what I wanted it to be. Does it look good?
That's what I mean. Obviously, it's a big
fake.
rubber.
It didn't look but it didn't look like not an alligator. It's not like it was in the shape of an alligator. It's not like, you know what I mean?
Yeah, I've seen worse rubber animals for sure.
I watched Crocodile and Crocodile 2. Now, granted, this is a crocodile, not an alligator, but it looked way shittier. It was clearly just a giant thing that didn't actually have feet on it. It was just in the water. When it moved, it just pushed forward. The mouth opened and closed, but you could tell it was like manual and shitty. They did such a good job, I thought, of intercutting real alligators on miniatures with this giant mechanical gator. They shot it. I don't want to compare it to Jaws, but they shot it in a way where they're like, this shot looks good, especially when we use it in conjunction with the close-ups and the miniatures. So in an attack scene or in an action scene, it looks real. I thought it looked great. And again, this is what I wanted from this movie.
100%. That I agree with. And I think it did look pretty good. And just like Jaws, the puppet had a lot of problems.
I heard that. Yeah.
So like they could only show it a little bit. And I think it's to their benefit for sure.
Well, this Quint is getting eaten, and those hoods they hear him and they run around the corner, and there's a great wide of this alligator covered in trash munching on this guy. And as the guy tries to shoot at it and then runs away, Quint slowly gets further and further down his mouth in his throat. You're like, fucking, this is great.
Yeah.
That's exactly what I wanted it to be.
It's from here on that this movie is like flying high. It's like killing it in this game.
Yeah.
There's some stuff that happens after that, but let's just jump for time's sake. Let's jump to the wedding. This is my favorite part of this movie. Mr. Burns' daughter is marrying loser scientist guy. And at the wedding is all these like hobnobbers, like the mayor's there. And at first the mayor is like hobnobbing with Mr. Burns, who's cooking a steak, and he's hitting on some woman.
Super young, hot girl.
While cooking steak, burning the shit out of these steaks. And he's trying to tell her this story about it. And while he's telling the story, he's like, you you gotta put him in the marinade and do this. And every time he says a word, like the mayor's like, marinade, huh? And he'll be
marinade, huh? He just wants to interject himself into the conversation.
Like, the fuck are you doing here? Aren't you?
But it goes on
way too long. But that scene cracked me the fuck up because the way Mr. Burns would look at him every time he's like, until you get 128 degrees here, And you're like, the fuck are you doing here? I'm trying to hit on this chick. Get the fuck out of here.
But it's also like, why is this in the movie? Like, is this like, clearly that's not going to come into play later.
And also, they aren't giving you a recipe because those steaks look like shit.
That's the shoe leather that guy kept saying he had up his ass.
Yeah. So and just before this, they literally lay out the entire plot of the movie because the mayor's like, so if they find out that you've been dumping genetically modified dogs in the sewer and this alligator has grown to 3 times its normal size because of this, we're in deep shit, huh? And he's like, you're in deep shit too. And he's like, uh-oh. And it's like, wow, just in case you didn't get this movie, they laid it out for you. Anyway,
this wedding,
the wedding's going
come out of nowhere for you? Because they weren't talking about it all movie. That's the only thing that they could have connected to Jaws that they didn't.
Build the wedding a little bit.
This wedding is happening. We're not closing this wedding down. Mayor, you need to stop this wedding because there's a giant alligator. No, this is wedding season. We can't close the wedding venue. That's the only thing that they didn't, like the only Jaws comparison they could have made that they didn't. And the second they established this wedding, like pretty quickly into establishing the wedding, we see the alligator's POV through the bushes looking at the wedding. And I was like, oh, please tell me this is the and I knew time-wise we were close, but I was like, please tell me that this is the climax of the movie.
And they deliver so hard. This alligator comes in and fucks this wedding up, fucks people up, chewing on people. There's a goofy looking bishop wearing a Pope costume, like passing out. He's chucking people into the cake. He's whipping people with the tail. There's blood everywhere. He's munching on people, like just biting people in half. The Mr. Burns tries to get in a car and get away in his limo, and the alligator comes and basically crushes the car with his tail, killing 2 people inside.
Destroys it. And there should have been a much better payoff shot at the end of blood pouring out of the car, but it was just a little bit. The wheel falls off the car, the bumper's destroyed, the roof. You see shots of Mr. Burns, and like the roof is caving in on him, and he keeps moving down. But it's a great scene. It's way too many close-ups. But like, I believed it, and with the carnage of the rest of the wedding, of him eating the alligator, eating people and shit, and killing people and hitting people with the tail. Great, man. That was fucking great.
At least they delivered on it, That's what I'm saying. Like, this movie, for all its faults, at least comes through when it needs to. You see a guy get his legs bit off. You see people get their arms bit off. He fucks up this wedding, and there's blood everywhere. And you're like, great.
You said at the beginning that you had seen the cover for this, the back cover, and a bloody alligator. I'd never seen shots of this. I didn't know that, there's so many movies that we grew up seeing in the rental place that we didn't know anything about, but we put images together or knew there was a scene of such and such, or you saw the trailer for it. I didn't know anything about this other than the front cover. So when this carnage started happening here, I was like, because that's just what I wanted.
That's what you need.
Surprise for me. I was so happy.
So good. They killed it. Like, that's a great scene. And we get into the final moment where
Robert Forster
goes back to get his girlfriend back, goes to her crazy mom. We have a scene that you're like, wait, why is this scene happening? Her crazy mom's talking to him.
This one or this one?
Yeah. And he says, I'm sorry, blah, 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 blah. Let's go kill this gator. All right. They go down in the sewer. She's supposed to pick him up when he comes out of the sewer. He goes down in there with the bomb. Full circle, bitches. And you're like,
he steals dynamite, which was not really established anywhere.
The bomb was established as being fake. Bomb. Yeah. But the timer's real. So anyway, he's got a bomb from the beginning. Not the full circle I wanted, alligator, but fine. You know what? Whatever.
You did it.
So he's down there fighting this alligator, shooting at him, even though he said, don't shoot into the methane, whatever. He's got the bomb. He's setting that up. And he's like, great, I'm going to blow this alligator up. And he crawls up to the manhole. But just at that moment, some stupid old lady drives over the manhole and like parks her tire right on it. So they're stuck. He's stuck there while she's waiting for the trash. And Marissa is like...
There's a garbage truck in her way, which is why she's had to stop. So she's now parked on the manhole that Robert Forster is trying to get up through. He's already set the bomb, so now we have a ticking clock as he's
She
trying to get
can't
out.
hear him because the garbage. Yeah, she can't hear him because the garbage truck.
Because the garbage truck is garbage trucking.
And Marissa runs up and she's like, "Get out of the car!" And she's like, "What?" And she's like,
There's
"You got a
garbage truck. Get
out
of the car.
There's a guy.
There's a man under your car."
Like,
and then it cuts to Robert Forster, and he looks up and he's like, "Move, asshole!" And then the old lady looks down and goes, "What did he say?" It's like, wait, you heard that?
She basically has to manhandle this old lady out of her car and then back it up, and he jumps out just in time, and then boom, we get a bitchin' shot of this alligator blowing the fuck up.
You 2 shots of the alligator blowing up, and then a bunch in the sewer, and then like every fucking manhole in Chicago, Los Angeles, New York explodes. Like we see three or four manholes explode. We see a car explode and flip. Not sure if that was the old lady's car or not. We don't really see if there's anyone in it, and it looks like it's parked on the side of the road. But either way, fiery car flips over on its back, and like streets blowing up and shit. And then he tackles her to the ground to save her, because even though she just saved him, he reverse saves her. And there you go.
Then they look into the sewer and they're like, "Oh, it's over." Like literally have to tell you like the end. And they close the manhole cover, and then like you cut down into the sewer and you hear a toilet flush, and a little alligator falls down into the sewer, and it's like dun dun dun.
Love it. Fucking love it.
Yeah, pretty fucking good.
I was trying to
pretty
think
fucking
of an
bad,
analogy.
but pretty fucking good.
I was trying to think of an analogy, and it's like I run every day or two, right? And sometimes when I come home from a run, I'm just like, that was it. That's what my body needed. That's what this felt like. Or like, I guess if you have a good meal where like I eat fucking food every single day, but every once in a while I'll have like a nice dinner of sushi or something, and it hits the spot, and you're like,
I had sushi last night.
I didn't even realize I was looking for that this last week. That's what this movie was. And I'll be honest, I was looking for a fun, stupid 80s action horror, stupid movie. And this checked all those boxes. It was exactly what I've been looking for pretty much all summer. It was good enough as a film. It wasn't a badly made film, but it was silly and stupid. But it had a cool looking crocodile with plenty of, macabre violence and over the top gore and shit. Stupid acting and scenes that don't make sense. It had that feel too. It had that 80s grit of those movies that we love. That was a movie for sure that you and I would have high-fived if we were still at the launch pad watching. There would have been at least 2 high fives during that movie. At least. It's funny. So Kate and I watched it, and afterwards we were both like, yeah, that was fun. But now that you and I have talked about it, I'm like, Alligator was great. Yeah. It's like, no. After it was over last night, we were like, yeah, it's fine. I mean, we're glad we watched it. It was stupid and fun. But you and I talking about it has made me like this movie more than and here's I always say jokingly but serious whether I'll buy a movie on Blu-ray or DVD or not. But to me, that actually is a really good indicator, because I will undoubtedly watch that movie again. If I purchase it, I then could watch it with Shitty Movie, with friends, with me and you. Like, you live so far away now, but every once in a while, you and I, even with distance, will watch a movie together. This is that movie. And also, it's a Shout Scream Factory release on Blu-ray and DVD. And they do good for the looking. And
go ahead. Okay. Say it again. Yeah, we froze. Go ahead.
This is on Blu-ray, this is a Shout or Scream Factory release. And for those of you guys who collect and buy that stuff, they make those special features for us. So it's interviewing the actors and the directors for the type of stories that we want to watch. I saw that there is an interview with Bryan Cranston about him being a PA on this shoot. And it's like, that's the kind of shit, to me, that's worth $25. And I will watch those special features. And for sure, I'll put that in the vote for a shitty movie, because fuck, man, that movie was awesome.
It's a great shitty movie. Here's something else I will say. So John Sayles, who was the writer for this, he wrote this. After this, he wrote a treatment for Steven Spielberg called Night Skies. That movie did not get made, but Steven Spielberg basically developed that into a movie called E.T. In E.T., they talk about alligators in the sewers, which I was like, that is an awesome, like, full circle moment. It's like Alligator didn't know how to come full circle. Like, they got like network notes back, and it's like, you guys need to come full circle. And they're like, the bomb, we'll make the bomb come back around. Like, no, we meant the little girl needs to know that this was her alligator the whole time. No, okay, whatever, fine. We'll just put it out. It was really fun. And again, the creature effects were good enough. There was enough blood that it kept me going. And I think it's definitely worth watching. And I think worth watching with an audience. Like, if you watch it by yourself, you might be like, this is a shitty 80s crocodile. Sorry, Crocs, alligator movie. But if you watch it with like at least one other person, you're gonna be like, that's hilarious. They're playing grab ass in the sewer. That guy gets eaten by an alligator.
It was, and I watched something the other day that was like, you know why Marvel movies suck? Because anything that happens in them, you're never like, how did they do that? Because the answer is computers. You know, it was all digital stuff. Now, like, that's a very blanketed statement that I used to agree with, but now I don't necessarily. But there is something to be said of every effect shot in an Avengers movie, you know that it was computer done or at least assisted. When you watch a movie like this, you and I did practical effects. Like, there are shots in there that I was like, is that a guy in a suit or is that a miniature alligator in a miniature set? And
you had to build that shit. Yeah. I love that.
And then it's like, wow, that's fucking awesome. And the fact that there were multiple shots of that, even if it made you think for 1 second, I think that lends to your suspension of disbelief a little bit, and also the enjoyment of the piece as a craft. Because I could say, I mean, you do digital effects. I think that is an art, and you are creating there. But like, someone made a garbage can that was this big for that alligator to walk by and jump into the swamp. That's, I don't know. It's the craftsmanship of that is pretty fucking cool.
It's really fucking cool. So I will say, at some point in the future, not even the near future, you and I need to do an alligator and or crocodile, toothy lizard episode, because there are a lot of these movies.
There are.
There's a sequel to this one. There's a movie called
Mutation.
The Pool. Yeah, there's a movie called The Pool that's about a guy trapped in a deep, deep pool that has lost its water, and he's just stuck down there, and a crocodile
like a
comes
in the bathtub.
Yeah. And then there's the movie Crawl, which I really liked. I thought Crawl was really good. There's lots of Lake Placid, obviously. There's tons of these big toothy lizard movies. And I think we could do an entire episode on alligator crocodile movies.
So I did a show a couple years ago called The Day I Almost Died. It was I think it was Discovery Channel. And I did all the effects for the whole season. And it was about these people surviving these crazy encounters or accidents. And there was this one about a teenage kid who was swimming. He gets attacked by an alligator. Alligator grabs his arm. And you know, an alligator tries to kill you. It pulls you down under the water and
does those spins. Yeah, death roll.
This kid was able to put both of his feet against the belly of the alligator and push off of it. Ripped his arm off, but he got away. So I got to make this kid's arm stump for the show because they did reenactments, and I got to make an alligator head puppet, and I got to go in a wetsuit with gear and everything and puppeteer this thing in a lake attacking an actor. It was fun as shit. Chomping on fake hands in the water. Oh, it was cool. It was one of the coolest. It was one of the most fun jobs I got to do.
The funniest thing, I'm looking here at the movie poster for this movie. You'd look at it and go, that didn't happen. It's an alligator like busting through the street. That happens in this movie.
It was in the movie. Well, I'm curious about the sequel. The sequel is called Alligator the Mutation. Alligator 2, The Mutation, I believe. And I don't think it has... I read something last night in conjunction with this movie that said the sequel has no direct links to the first one, that there's no actors or characters that are the same. I don't know if it takes place in the same world or if it's just another alligator movie that has nothing to do with it. But
there is a hard look cop in it. So we tried to watch, like, it says trailer, on Shudder, and you click on it. It's like, this isn't a trailer. This is a scene from a movie. And they picked a scene that you're like, why would I ever hit play after seeing that? It's like him literally like walking around a corner and being like, honey, are you home? And that was it. That's all we got. And it was like, I would never hit play because of that. Why wouldn't you just be like, alligator? Nope. Just a cop walking through a hallway.
Remember Netflix used to do that, where Netflix used to, when you clicked on a movie on Netflix, it would show you a random still. And I don't know if the algorithm just picked 13 minutes and 45 seconds into every movie, but the still was not indicative of the film itself. Like, sometimes it was literally a person walking.
Yeah.
And then they did the same thing also with like that. Now, if you click on a movie, it shows you a quick scene or a quick snippet. There are times where like, it's like a Captain America movie, but it's just showing you like when he is walking towards a date with Peggy. And you're like, that is not anything about this movie.
Why would I hit play? Oh my God. Super funny. So yeah, no, I want to see the sequel. I want to know what other movies, I'm kind of into the, I know crocodiles are now like seriously, if somebody ats me over the misnomenclature of crocodile alligator, I'm going to be pissed off because I don't care. And also I know.
That's literally racist.
It's specious, Rumi. It's specious.
That to a crocodile.
I want to see crocodile and alligator movies and see what other ones are out there.
I can tell you right now, you should watch Crocodile and Crocodile 2. They're nowhere near as good as this. They are a photocopy of this.
Yeah.
But you get a giant creature. You get a lot of chomping. There's one or two scenes that are just absurdly stupid, like stupider than this, but enjoyable stupid, I've
seen Toe Poopers Eaten Alive. I hated that movie, but yeah.
I agree. And I've watched it recently and I'm like, why does this have like any sort of prestige about it? I mean, I guess the time that it was made, blah, 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 blah.
It's a classic Toe Pooper formula where it's like people who are acting so crazy, like this might be real. This can't be real.
Yeah.
Yeah. Just like we've talked about it in the past. Daddy, my dog's dead. Oh, fucking great, you little asshole. Like this girl's dog gets killed by the crocodile alligator, and like her dad and mother don't act like human beings. They're like screaming at her. Anyway, we'll do an episode. We'll do an episode, Toothy Lizards, and call it a day. Okay. Hit us up on social media, Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter at LaunchpadPod. Our website, launchpadpod.com. Watch us on YouTube. Tell us what you think. Have you seen this movie? What are your favorite crocodile alligator-esque movies? Is there a scene in any of those that we should be checking out? Where's the hidden gem? Is there one that we don't even know about? Some like Italian knockoff, like Cruel Gators or something like that. That's actually like three movies amalgamated together.
Tell us about a pet that you had whose ending you didn't see, and it may have grown into a giant something other and wreaked havoc that you didn't realize you were partly responsible for.
Rumi, let's blast this thing off. Chomp, 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 chomp. We're the Rocketeers and we are out.
Ignition sequence start. 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0. All engine running. Liftoff. We have a liftoff.